Now, it doesn't matter if you're playing tennis, baseball, basketball, a different sport. Whether you're trading, you need your mental game to be on. You can't do multiple things at the same time. If you're thinking about, oh, I've got rent due, I've got this, I've got to be at work in 3 hours, I've got a meeting starting in 10 minutes, someone's about to call me in 5 minutes, I've got to place this order first, then you shouldn't be trading. You have to be able to process information, make sure you're diagnosing the potential trade the correct way. You figure out your entry point. Okay, the stock's trading here. I'd like to enter here. It'd be off. That makes sense with what it did yesterday and the day before. So my option that I would pay $300 for, I might put in a bid for $220, a full $80 less, a full 26% under its current price. And then you say to yourself, okay, in this afternoon, I think we're going to get a recovery like we did Friday, and my stock should be from here all the way to here, and my options should be worth $520. Maybe I get a spike, so I'm going to ask for $5.40. If it happens, I'll take profit. That's your mental game. You have a game plan, you have a strategy, you know your entry, you know your exit, and you know how much profit you're going to take even before the trade started. Now, I'll give you an example of not having your mental game together. I'll give you an example of myself. For about 7 trading days, I've been off my game. I've entered now 7 trades, including a lottery play on Friday that went completely the wrong way. So I'll give you a recap. SPY puts, profit. SPY puts, lost. Lotto SPY puts Friday, lost. UVXY calls, lost. Tesla puts, lost. All in all, I lost about $7,700 last week. Now, I don't like to lose one day, much less a full week, but I'd like you to know my mental game wasn't there. I had to take one of my daughters to the hospital because they've got some bacteria that they're living with my ex-wife, bacteria that's worse than black mold. So one has constant headaches, one has constant sore throats, off focus, off base. I wasn't mentally in the game. It didn't matter if we're talking about my kids, trading, my Discord platform, my YouTube videos. Man, I could put together 5-10 minutes of logical thought, but everything that I kept coming back to said, hey, the market's frothy. The market needs to throw up on itself. I position myself accordingly instead of following the momentum and trading accordingly, which is what I tell you to do. So my mental game wasn't there. Now my mental game is back this week. I've got a plan. I'm going to execute, and I know exactly what I'm expecting from the market. So I suggest to you, do the same thing. If you have a day and you have to pick up your kids, or you've got a doctor's appointment, or you have an important work meeting and you know you can't actively trade, well, there's no reason. Let's say you have 10 grand, put 10 grand, you make it a position for like $4,000. And you go into this meeting that's extremely important for your job. Well, you've got 40% of your account riding on this position. You think the market's going one way, but you're nervous because you don't know. The market's been so strong for 2 weeks. Let's say you go into that meeting, you're expecting strength, and it finally throws up on itself. And for the hour and a half, you can't sell your position because you're in this meeting, but you're thinking about it. You're thinking about, man, my position might be worth $8,000 or $10,000 by the time I get out of the meeting. And then you check your phone under the table, right? And you're like, holy shit, I'm down 50%. And your mindset changes. Your boss says, all right, Matt, continue with the presentation. And you're like, yeah, because you only have one thing on your mind. My position is down 50%. Do I average down? Do I sell and take the loss? Do I look for a little bit of a bounce? Well, you don't know because you're not looking at the chart. If you're not looking at the chart, you don't know if you can get that slight bounce. You don't know if you might have a rebound. You don't know if it's going to get worse. And your $4,000 might be not zero, but like $500 by the time the meeting's over. So again, get your mental game together. Now, I don't really speak about this because I feel it's a given. If you're all over the place and your head's all whacked out and you've got this and you're flying out and you got a vacation or whatever it is, let's say your kids were home on spring break last week. You didn't have time to trade. Another thing about your mental game, let's say like me, you've had a couple losing days in a row. Well, you must get your mental game in order to trade on Monday, to feel like you're going to be a winner. Because if you go into a trade, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure people will share their experiences below. If you go into trade, you're like, man, all I do is lose money in this market. The last 5 trades I've done, I've lost money. Bingo, light bulb. You're basically telling yourself you're going to lose going into this trade. I've had 5 losing. I don't know what I'm doing. I say up, it goes down, blah, 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 blah. I really like Apple. Well, great. You just had 5 losing trades in a row. Here's what you do. Take a step back. You say, I would have bought these Apple calls at $300. And then you take a step back and you say to yourself, I've been wrong on entries so many times. If I still want that position, let me put in for $2. If you had 5 losing trades in a row, good chance your 6th trade is going to be a losing trade. The same way way when you're trading extremely well and you see things crystal clear and you don't understand how everybody else doesn't see it your way. I've had weeks, if not months like that, where I'm like, geez, this is about to take off. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. And people are like, you're an idiot, dude. It's going the opposite direction. But then 2 days later, and we'll use Hood as an example. I had Hood options 2 weeks ago on Friday. I did a lotto play on it. I put $3,500 in and I lost like $2,800. However, if I'd bought out just 1 week, I was right about Hood. It basically went to 1380 from 1020, and my $3,300 or whatever it was would have been worth something close to 8,000. So I realized after the fact, there's no reason to take a lotto play. If you think you're going to be right, it's about being efficient and making money, not throwing darts and hoping that you hit the right number. Now, if you like this video, save for the next video because I've got more to share.